love my vibe. Who would've thought that would be the last one I see her eyes? Talk to boy, you say, contemplated suicide. Suicide ain't the answer, man, you gotta live your life. But I ain't gon' lie, I've been there. Feel like to your face like they been care. Like being real is being rare. But thank God I'm still here. Like fuck it, I'm back on the road. Like call, but you already know. So down, so low, but you already know. But I hate on a kiss, so yeah, I had to keep it up. But I ain't gon' lie, yeah, sometimes I've been feeling stuck. You ever felt so down that you don't believe in love? But I came this far, so why would I ain't feeling good? But you knew it already. Then I with my bitch, and she said she already. And the fans on me to win, so I know we already. Lord, give me mercy already. Show up the show, man, it's been too many. L after L, man, I guess I had plenty. When I was at my lowest, it was popping up confetti. And I don't wanna talk it, all this shit get too heavy. And this my life, yeah, you know I'm mad. Gotta take what's mine, don't put you in last. Gotta clear my eyes, had to get out the gas. And before this COVID shit, yeah, we put on masks. But I know one thing is for sure, I gotta get these racks up. And they gon' snake you for your cash, gotta keep it stashed up. And always stay one step ahead, never let them catch up. I remember days you think about 10 plays, man, I'm tryna go platinum. I little baby said, I don't do no drugs no more. I've been catching flights, riding that 4x4. My bitch, she bad, got a fish, she's always wanting more. Made one call, get to clapping, they should know you feeling good, but you knew it already. Then I with my bitch, and she said she already. And the fans on me to win, so I know we already. Lord, give me mercy already. Show up the show, man, it's been too many. L after L, man, I guess I had plenty. When I was at my lowest, it was popping up confetti. And I don't wanna talk it, all this shit get too heavy.
Justin, I like this one.
Fuck around, hate them bitches, suckers know I'm ballin'. But I been moving all them fast, you know he hollin'. Bitch, that when I'm walking, extra steady calling. My new bitch is Jeremy, know he fuck until the morning. They be saying that's my brother, way a lot, now it's down, I ain't convinced. Know they riding on the dick, cause the road popping like a bitch. Ain't had nobody, I was dolly every day, I reminisce. I had to do something to get rich, this shit go quick, we hit a switch. Had to get to it, man, that makes it not a nothing. Know that pussy.
Welcome. What's up, everybody? Here with the Fantasy Cure. This is episode number 11, Overreaction Tuesday for NFL week number 4. What is going on, folks? The mic is wide open, so let's talk it up. What's up, Irish? Let's talk about some of the madness that continues to go on with some of the players that we were just so right about, but so wrong, apparently. Man, there's quite a few of them, you guys. Quite a few of them. Rocco says, R.I.P. Julio. Uh-oh. Is Julio done with? Is he donezo, Rocco? Rocco says Julio is done. So much madness is right. Well, I guess a few things we should talk about first is, number one, I don't know what you guys think. I don't think Jonathan Taylor is going to play this week, which really sucks. He hasn't been great the past couple of weeks because the whole entire Colts offense has just been absolutely horrid. So there's one thing. Let's see. They played Denver on Thursday Night Football. He had some ankle injury that they're calling minor, but this is a short week. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to risk re-injury, even if he does play. Is he going to be limited? Will he be himself. I guess we'll find out more and more tomorrow. Probably not, because they'll probably make him a game time decision, which will just make it even worse, even more of a headache than it already is. I would definitely be preparing for your Jonathan Taylor teams for him to be out. I'm just saying. Even if he does start, I don't know if I'm going to play him. Denver's defense has been pretty solid thus far. Indianapolis hasn't shown any signs of life, so I don't know. All right, Rocco says big win for Tennessee. Yes, it was. Eckler finally went off. What's up, Preston? What's up, Nallins? Yes, Eckler finally came to life. What did he score? 3 touchdowns this weekend, I believe. The Chargers offense still is a little out of sync, but um they should be getting Keenan Allen back this Sunday, and I don't know. I think they'll be firing on all cylinders. I know their O line's has been banged up. I think Slater. I'm not sure how long he's going to be out, but I really do expect the Chargers offense to start rolling even more. Mike Williams had a really good week, thank goodness, because I have a lot of him. Let's go back to the DJ Moore scenario. Baker Mayfield just absolutely stinks. I actually thought Baker could help the situation with Carolina, but it's just it's just not a good fit, or they're limiting something. I don't know. It's just not working like it should. Christian McCaffrey is, thank God for his receptions, has kept him afloat. But they really can't run the ball very well. They're not very explosive, and they have a lot of explosive players. So that offense is really out of sync. DJ Moore did get some more catches this week, a little more target. Let's see what exactly he got. I think he scored like 10 or 11 points. It was nothing to brag about at all for a fourth round pick. Well, he scored 12 points. All right. 6 receptions, 50 yards, and he had 11 rushing yards. He did have 11 targets. Now that I can deal with. They were having to throw the ball a lot there because they got down to the Cardinals. And anyways, long story short, I do like the targets, so that's, if anything, he pretty much doubled his targets from each game that he was getting. 6 catches, 50 yards. Yeah. Well, the Rams don't have a running game, and without a running game, there's no need to worry about play action. And with no one else wanting to catch the ball at wide receiver other than Cooper Kupp, yeah, they need Van Jefferson to get healthy ASAP, and they really need to find a running game because it's just not there. 49ers defense is top notch. So I'll say that as well. That's a tough matchup. That D line pretty much is going to dominate anyone. San Francisco is pretty stout all 3 levels this year. Linebacker, of course, with Fred Warner, Al Shazier, and those boys, and Dre Greenlaw, and then they picked up Tredavious Ward from the Chiefs. Mosley is getting more seasoned, et cetera, et cetera. Jimmy Ward's coming back soon. Tua Fonga, as you saw last night, is turning into a mini Palomalu. That kid closes like crazy. He had an interception for a TD last night. The dude's just got an eye for the ball. So, just an absolute beast. It's going to be tough sledding whoever plays San Francisco, no doubt. That defense is just they're just crushing folks. But yeah, I mean, something's definitely going wrong with the Rams. They really need a running game, and they really need someone else at wide receiver. They're not really scheming plays right for Allen Robinson either. They try to throw a stretch left and right pass play to him. Like, that's not his game. They threw him one deep pass that Stafford overthrew and threw it way too fast. Like, he had one-on-one coverage. You should have just threw it up for a 50-50 ball, but he, chunks it way past them. So, yeah, I mean, number one, they're not scheming the correct route tree for Robinson. Maybe that's just because they don't have other wide receivers. I don't know, but they need Van Jefferson to get back. More than likely, OBJ's probably going to end up there at the end of the season if they're in contention. But yeah, they looked really bad. All right, so let's talk about some other things here. How did Gabriel? Gabriel Davis. That was one that I was. I mean, it's only been 4 weeks, but 4 weeks is a quarter of the regular season for fantasy football, so it hasn't looked good at all. And a game that they really needed some folks to step up, man. I mean, he had 3 targets. So his most targets in a game were 6, and that was week 3 versus Miami. He still only had 3 catches for 37 yards. I was really, really afraid that was kind of going to be the case with Gabriel Davis. I just couldn't put that much stock in him to draft him as early as I did. I mean, as early as people were. And I think I ended up getting him maybe on 1 or 2 teams. He just never fell to me where I was comfortable taking him. Yeah, you can say ankle all you want, but there's a lot of other players playing through injuries that it's not even that. He's not getting the targets. And McKenzie is just absolutely insane. I mean, he's the most dynamic weapon. You know, Diggs is obviously amazing, but I'm telling you, McKenzie running the ball and catching the ball, he's their Swiss Army knife for sure. So we'll see what happens with Gabe Davis going forward. I mean, excuse me. We'll see how much. It's been 4 weeks. It hasn't looked good. I know he missed week 2, which sucks, but it really hasn't looked good. 14 targets through 4 games, 8 receptions through 4 games, 138 yards in 4 games, and only 1 touchdown. So there's that. All right. How much for Boone and Latavius? Boone dropped a wide open catch that he probably could have took for who knows the other night. So I mean they picked up Latavius for a reason. Latavius looked freaking great in London the other day. He looked really great for the Saints. So we will see. Oh, so AC, you're saying that's why? But why the lack of targets is what I don't understand. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I mean, hell, it's no worse than the other one of the other guys I was drafting around him, DJ Moore. So, yes, we need to bring out the RIP music. You know, Javonte Williams done for the year. He is Gonzo. Pretty consistent second round pick. Javonte Williams was all season long. I remember, as we were discussing, and Malins popped and said that somebody took him first overall. So, I mean, it stinks. Leaderboard teams. Salient. Which leaderboard, buddy? You're not going to target. Dang it, Malins. AC said yes. You're not going to target a hurt player. I don't know, man. I'm kind of the thought of if you're well enough to play, you're well enough to produce, and they're not using you as a decoy. So I mean, he's been 2 weeks back off the ankle injury, AC. So how long? He had better production the week before, and that he was just coming off the ankle injury. So he went backwards a week later. I don't know. If I'm betting on Latavius, I don't think I'm gonna bet on Boone. Maybe I will to try to pick up here and there. I don't really. Excuse me. I don't really think I'll be picking up Boone at all, though. I just don't. I mean, again, I could be wrong. I think the guy would target would be Latavius as far as that goes, and I'm not bidding more. I'm not bidding more than like $112, and that's if I really really need him. Um, free agent blind bid Wavin is we have $1,000 for an entire season, and let's just put this out there too. I mean, no one on that team has really ran the ball very well. So, I mean, no matter who it is, I think they're going to struggle. That whole offense in general is struggling as a core unit. Hackett just hasn't been hacking it. You get me? Um, I mean, 4 weeks is pretty extensive, AC. I mean, damn, how long are we going to wait? We're going to wait till week 9 when we're about to hit the playoffs? Or, I mean, you're talking about a 25% of the regular season for fantasy football gone. That's a pretty big piece to miss for a consistent third round pick. I mean, he was going super high, and we got to call it like it is. We can't say about some players and just not about others because he had a hurt ankle. That's all I'm saying. It's been pretty bad through 4 weeks. I mean, so we'll see. Like I said, trust me. Trust me. There's plenty of them that I've got on my teams too, like DJ Moore. Allen Robinson is another one that just looks like he shouldn't have went to the Rams. I mean, what an atrocity Allen Robinson's been. It's just, I mean, it's absolutely insane. Let's talk about Allen Robinson again for a minute. Allen Robinson is going to be officially on the bums list. This is something AC created, by the way, the bums list. So I'm gonna steal that from you, AC. I'll give you a little shout out there. But the bums list, we're gonna put Allen Robinson on there. I mean, I can't start the guy until I see more consistent production. Maybe since they got their asses handed to them on Monday Night Football by my boys, the Niners. Maybe they'll realize, hey, we might need to do something a little different. The route tree they've had Allen Robinson running shows me they don't know what type of player they have in him because it makes no sense at all. Allen Robinson needs to be in the middle of the field. He doesn't need to be on the outside. He doesn't have the speed to blow past people. Yeah, I mean, if you got one-on-ones and you want Cup eating up the middle some too, that's cool. But Allen Robinson his route tree needs to enter the middle of the field. He said he's absolutely on the bums list. I couldn't agree more. What about DJ Moore? I mean, DJ Moore did get an uptick in targets, 11 targets, 6 receptions. He needs he needs to get some touchdowns, which has always been his issue. So that's still a major issue right there. But damn, thank goodness I was not very high on Allen Robinson. Excuse me. So he didn't really make many of my teams, so to speak. He uses cheat sheet. So AC, excuse me, guys. Still getting over this freaking cold. All right, so DJ Moore. All right, let's talk about some of the let's talk about some of these other guys. Hold on 1 second. Let's pull up a draft board here and go through some of these earlier round players again. Sometimes I forget. I forget some of these guys. And I don't want to forget them because they deserve to be called out by us because, dang it, they're just not doing what we want them to do. All right. So let's just call some of these guys busts already, okay? Jonathan Taylor, we're not going to call a bust. Insanely aggravating, yes. Let's call it that. There's still hope for Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense. We'll see if they can pick it up. Christian McCaffrey, thank goodness for his receptions, has been keeping par. He had a really good game this weekend. I think Murray could push for a lot of production, Preston, and Melvin Gordon's not exactly he's pretty injury prone himself. So there's no way in hell you can give Melvin Gordon 20 touches a game and expect him to hold up either. I mean, if they do that, fine. Then I would love that because then Latavius is probably going to get in sooner than later. They're going to need to try to keep those running backs as fresh as they can. So, and Latavius is just really good in the red zone. So is Melvin Gordon for the most part, but Latavius is extremely good in the red zone. He just looked pretty damn good the other day in that Saints game versus the Vikings. Like, I'm really surprised they let him go. But I mean, they got a what did you say, Malins? They got a 3rd round pick for him, right? All right, Justin Jefferson is back. JJ blew up Cooper Kupp. I mean, my God, he had more touches than 90% of the running backs in the league this week. Eckler, had a really good week. Dalvin Cook is shaping up, man. It's pretty close. I mean, he's getting the work, just not turning into very much production. So I'm not gonna call him a bust. I mean, the guy had 22 touches. Okay, I thought so when I heard that, Mounds. I was like, geez, surely they got what, like a 5th round pick or something? Not a 5th round, like a 6th, 7th round pick, something like that. Or did they have to give anything for him? Because he was on their practice squad on the Saints. All right, but Dalvin Cook's been one that's been super frustrating. 22 touches. He only turned it into 10.6 fantasy points. Insanely frustrating. King Henry is back, baby. 25 touches, getting going in that receiving game as well. He had another 5 targets, 100 yards rushing with a TD. Oh, okay. So they didn't protect him. I got you. I wasn't sure about that, so thanks for letting me know. Okay, perfect. Well, that was a huge steal right there. That's crazy. They'll definitely get their money's worth out of Latavius, and hopefully they'll incentivize him pretty well. All right, so Henry's back. Let's just call it like it is for King Henry. I tell you what, AC, we gotta give Cook another week or two. Let's see. He's getting the touches, which does have to factor in, and he's getting a little something going. I mean, all of it's not his fault either. But let's give him a little shot here. Let's see if he can make his way all the way off the bums list. I agree, Malins. Definitely not smart. Jamar Chase. If you've had Jamar Chase this season, he's treating you okay. I mean, the last 3 games have just been subpar. You got wide receivers that were drafted in the 5th, 6th, 7th round that are out producing him. His highest yardage total has been 81 yards the last 3 games. 6 targets last game. So there we go. Oh, I agree. AC, to reverse the bad play. Hey, what's up, GL? Oh, nice. Cracks number 3. Crack rock. All right, so Jamar Chase. What about Devontae Adams? Devontae Adams had a really good game. 13 targets, 9 receptions, 101 yards. It's amazing what a team can turn into when they run the football. Open up all that play action, right? My goodness. Shout out to Josh Jacobs. All right, so Devontae Adams, Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon had a pretty decent game. He got him a touchdown. He's getting tons of usage as usual, so it's pretty safe. Najee Harris. Let's stick him on the borderline. What's up, Will? So Will said he caught it on my TikTok post. T will have a better fantasy season than Chase. I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of football left for them, but T's played pretty well as well. T Higgins always scares the hell out of me, though. I swear, every time he catches the ball, I feel like he's going to be done for the year. But yeah, let's go ahead and put a borderline stamp on Najee Harris as well, AC. Let's go ahead and do that. I mean, I personally was not drafting Jamar Chase. I didn't like his ADP, which is why I actually like the um, Higgins pick a little more, which I wasn't really on Higgins either. Yeah, exactly. I was more of a fan of Mike Williams versus Higgins, and hell, they're both doing really well. So pick your poison there, I guess. Yeah, they really do play a lot alike. Yes, I agree, Will, but we're gonna throw him on the borderline bums list. He's got a stamp. Kenny Pickett time, baby, in Pittsburgh. Let's see what it's about. Speaking of picking, George Pickens should start getting rolling too for you guys who held on to him. If he's on your waiver wire, definitely look to pick up George Pickens. 8 targets, 6 for 102. Also think Deontay Johnson's going to get going too. Thank goodness, because I have a ton of Deontay in the 5th and 6th rounds. I'm really loving that situation. All right, so let's wrap it back around. Kamara has definitely been a bust this season. Diggs, of course, has been amazing. Swift, I mean, he's already freaking hurt. Kelsey had another stud performance. Debo showed up and smashed that ass last night for Ramsey and the boys. What's up, Axe? There he is, the critic, baby. How you doing, Axe? Good to see you, man. He said you are welcome. I think Amari, you just gonna have to be patient, man. I think it'll be hit and miss a lot this season. But I do think Amari will have plenty of games where he gets a ton of targets and plenty of production. It's kind of been like that through his whole career. He's always kind of been erratic with his production. He's kind of frustrating to own, but oh man, sorry to hear that, Axe. I didn't know, buddy. Yeah, the number one overall pick, Jonathan Taylor, man. It's been rough sledding so far. I still got hope for JT though. I still think he'll manage to get on up out of there. Nick Chubb's been a huge steal, guys. I say a steal. He was going in the 3rd round towards the end of fantasy drafts. I'm gonna call it a steal thus far. Chubb's been straight beast moding. Um, he had another really good game this weekend. He's already got three out of 4 games for over 100 yards rushing. He's already got 5 touchdowns on the season. They used him a little bit in the receiving game last week too, and he's doing it with right around 20 touches too, 20 to 23, 24 touches. So Nick Chubb's definitely been a huge value so far for the people that drafted him. CeeDee Lamb seems to be getting back on track. Seems like he and Cooper Rush have found their niche, and Dak should be back pretty soon. But CD's kind of blown up the past 3 weeks. He's had 15 and 2, 22-point performances. So I think CD Lamb's kind of getting back on track. Aaron Jones has been kind of iffy. I don't want to put him on the bus thing or anything like that because he did have 100 yards rushing. He's only got 1 touchdown rushing this year and 1 receiving. That was all in 1 game. So hopefully we can see some better touchdown production and even get him going a little more in the reception area too. Still holding consistent though, 100 plus or 110 yard rushes on the season. So for where he was going, I mean, I guess that's not really bad. Not bad at all. Tyreek Hill is paying off for people who drafted him, of course. He just puts up stupid numbers. Yeah, I don't think Jerry's very smart, Will, so I don't see it happening at all. I think the only way Pollard gets insanely involved in this offense is if Zeke gets injured. Because I mean, Pollard did absolutely jack this past weekend. It's so frustrating owning Pollard, and that's why, because they're just so stupid with him, with his usage and everything. I mean, the guy had freaking 1 reception and 8 rushing attempts. He had 6 yards rushing on 8 attempts and a 2-yard reception. 1.80 fantasy points, and that's PPR scoring. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than that. So I mean, he's just super frustrating. They don't seem to make very good decisions. So I don't know, man. It's super frustrating on the Pollard. I'll tell you that. Oh, you're fine, Malins. Leonard Fournette, he snuck in and got a touchdown at the end of that game, towards the end of that game there. So good for him. Zeke's, I mean, you're not really getting much out of Zeke. 49 yards on almost 20 carries. Just it's ridiculous. It's just dumb at this point. ETN has been a huge bust. That's one we can go ahead and call. That Travis Etienne has been a huge bust for this fantasy football season. James Conner has also been a huge bust thus far. 7 points, 8.7, and 10.7 his last 3 games. 1 touchdown on the season. I knew that James Conner stuff was flawed. No way in hell was he going to get that touchdown total again. Cardinals offense really looks out of sync too. Um, they have Kyler Murray, so they're getting a shot here and there, and some wide receivers stepped up too with Dortch, and but they really need Hopkins back, which they'll get him back. And let me see, they got this week and then next week, and then Hopkins will be back for the rest of the year. So we're going into week 5. Hopkins will be back week 7. So it's getting closer to a return for him. Michael Pittman's been a little frustrating for me. I have Pittman on a pretty good bit of teams. He scored 6 points this week. I was really irritated by that. I think Pittman's still safe. I don't know how well he'll do. He'll do this weekend. They're playing Denver. Pretty much every team that's played Denver has just kind of been a battle back and forth there. Um, I'm calling Latavius Murray critic. I think Latavius Murray. I don't know if it'll be this week though, but it should be Latavius Murray. He looked really good in that New Orleans game. Mike Evans paid off in a major way. AJ Brown's continuing success this year. Kyle Pitts. Let's just call it what it is. Kyle Pitts has been a bust this year, guys, and I hate that. I know there was a lot of you guys that were real high on Pitts. I was not one of those people, but the kid's got immaculate talent. It's just in such a crappy offense. Well, the thing is, they're gonna have to mix it up. It was kind of one thing we were talking about last week. Will is to me the the Colts need to really have a bona fide tight end, and they need to use the tight end more. I think Mo Alley had some decent numbers last game too, but they really got to get the tight end situation fixed there, and they need someone else to step up at wide receiver badly. Someone to stretch the field. Pittman's kind of more of a possession receiver versus like a huge deep threat, or he's not T.Y. Hilton's what I'm trying to say. He's a move the chains type of wide receiver. If they can continue to work on integrating the tight end more into the scheme and offense, it's going to open up a lot for the running game. But I've also seen too. I'm going to put some of the blame on Jonathan Taylor. Now I've watched some of the past couple of games, and he's also not making some of the right reads either. So I don't know if he's just frustrated or what, but I've seen I've seen Jonathan Taylor make some very poor reads, especially in the last couple of games. So he's also got to make the right cuts, the right reads as well. But it's just collectively, I think they're one of those teams that's going to take a little bit to get in sync, and once they do, I could see them making some noise. Yeah, A Rob is very cooked. The Rams do not have a plan for him, nor do they know how to use him worth a shit. Higby's not Higby's Higbee's been very great. So is Gerald Everett. I've got both of them. But yeah, Allen Robinson is definitely not startable. I didn't start him in our invitational league either, which I'm still holding on to second in points, and I got a win this week. I was 2-2 thanks to Cooper Cup. But let's talk about some other guys. Cortland Sutton and Russ are starting to mesh. Darnell had a pretty started to get some targets and played a poor defense. Terry McLaren has not treated his people well. Yeah, I mean it doesn't matter. OBJ is not going to play for a while. Yeah. Hey Britt, welcome. Welcome to the channel, Britt. Let me see. Scary Terry had a 3.50 fantasy point production in PPR leagues this past week. I guess that was kind of his first like dud of the season. Man, that guy's so freaking good, and they just continue to screw around and not use him right. Yep, Dotson. How long is Dotson out? He's supposed to be out, what, a few weeks? Oh, man, DJ Morse is such a pain in my ass right now. I know. And it's not even his fault. But the good news is I hope the 49ers beat the crap out of them this weekend. And maybe they'll look elsewhere at quarterback, or maybe Baker just starts targeting DJ Moore, 10 plus times a game, and we can actually get some production out of him. Yeah, that's true. Also, it's going to help Curtis Samuel too, who I have a shitload of. Man, Curtis Samuel was paid off so big for me. He's been so great. Hey, let's give a golf clap here, guys. I'd like to give because everybody in the world was down on this guy. Maybe he does nothing else, but I think he does going forward. Let's give old Josh Jacobs a little golf clap. Can't even talk. Let's give him a golf clap, fellas. All right, Josh Jacobs, you earned a golf clap this week, my friend. 28 rushing attempts, a buck 44, 2 tutties, 5 receptions. I mean, anyone that doesn't use Josh Jacobs, good grief. Yeah, I've got a ton of Pacheco sitting on my benches too, waiting for it myself. I'm also ready for Wandell. I want to see Wandell Robinson get back so that I can see what he does. He said no. I want to see what Wandell does on the Giants, man. They're starving for anybody to freaking right tip of the hat. They're just starving for somebody to step up and do anything. All right, guys, tell me this. This is a player that we haven't discussed a lot. I want to talk about him tonight. What is your guys' thoughts so far on Rashad Bateman? The last 2 weeks, he's been trending down, man. Now, apparently, he was dealing with a foot injury, I guess, the second half of the Bills game. But man, Rashad Bateman was going pretty high in a lot of drafts. First 2 weeks were looking okay, and then the last 2 weeks he's really fell off. Yeah, Tolbert was right up there with Romeo Dobbs for a long time, especially earlier fantasy drafts this season. Hey, listen, I'm with you, AC. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire definitely deserves some credit. I'll tell you this: the one thing I've seen that I haven't seen before from CEH is his vision. I think he's starting to see it a little better this year. I really do. I mean, he's had some pretty good runs. Like, he was normally like a guy that he couldn't find the hole if it was right in his face. He would run into the back of his lineman all the time and fall down. But his vision has really impressed me. Now, Pacheco's just an elite talent. I don't know if he's going to continue to get more and more. But CEH, I mean, he's been a great steal thus far too. 22, 16, 15, and 22. I mean, you really can't ask for more, especially where he was going. So, I mean, he's up to 2 rushing touchdowns on the year. He almost had 100 yards rushing. And the Chiefs' offensive line rushing offense has actually done a lot better than I thought they would. So the O line is in the run game at least is definitely doing pretty well. Mahomes seems to be pretty protected too. I mean, they were getting that ball out against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay couldn't do nothing with him. But yeah, definitely giving some props to him, for sure. So let's see who else. Juju Smith-Schuster, guys. Juju, he was going pretty late. There's nothing more than a flex play right now. They just hasn't really shown very him. He and Mahomes, like their connection's there, but it's not there. So I don't know. Need to see some more production. We need to see some red zone targets to him. You know, kind of that deal. Chris Godwin. Thank goodness. I thought Chris Godwin was really hurt when he went down the other day again. I was like, my goodness. But I think Godwin's going to start getting going too. Of course, they won't be down, 21 points all game like they were the other day. He did have 10 targets on his return, but just good to see him get back in the game after he went out for a minute. And they got a pretty nice schedule coming up too. I said it all along too, Axe. I agree. Kelsey is the only wide receiver one. Totally agree with that, buddy. Yep, Mahomes is so good, he's going to spread it around. Not going to fall for this trap with the Rashad Penny crap this weekend. Listen, I own Penny a decent amount, but I also had Walker backing him up. Good to see him do that. I'm just not going to. He's definitely capable, man, but I'm not going to expect it. I mean, they were playing the worst ranked defense in the league, so I don't know. We'll see. Even if Penny can just continue the usage and get touchdowns, like get the payday, we'll see. But DK Metcalf sure did look pretty good in that game. Again, playing the worst defense in the league, so he should have. But DK definitely like a beast. DK's been coming on the last 2 weeks too. 12 targets, 5 for 64 and a touchdown. 10 targets, 7 for 149. They got the Saints coming up, which should, definitely a much tougher matchup defensively. So we'll see if old DK is going to earn his payday. But then it loosens up. I mean, they play Arizona. They got the Chargers, the Giants. So DK should have some monster games coming up too. Sky, the extra wise for why did I draft him? He says. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't really a fan of Sky Moore either. Nothing against him. I honestly just stayed away from all those guys. I didn't draft Valdez Scantling either, and now I did take Juju in a few leagues. I mean, hell, he was dropping to the 8th, 9th round, so and some of those TFC. So there's no way I was going to let him just sit there. And then he started going like 4th round pretty consistently, and I never got him again. But early on, man, he was going super late. Like I think it was more like 7th, 8th round, not 9th round, but still he was going a lot later. George Kittle been a super bust. Darren Waller's been a super bust. I mean, just absolutely terrible production from those two guys. I stayed away from both of them. Although Dalton Schultz didn't do much better. I think he scored 0. Yeah, he scored 0 on 3 targets. So we'll see. We'll see if that happens. See if he can turn it around. Schultz needs Dak back big time. Chris Olave. Olave deserves a talking about. He's really coming on. I don't know how long Michael Thomas is going to be out, but he's really stepped up the past 3 weeks. 13 targets, 7 targets. So I think the Saints will be in the market for a new quarterback after the season. So we'll see. What about Rachaad White, guys? Man, I think if Rachaad White ever gets the chance, If Fournette goes down or if he's out a few games, I think Rashad White's going to put up some insane numbers, man. He looks so damn explosive, has good hands, just really good vision. He's played pretty dang well for them. He got him a touchdown this week too. They're trying to limit some of Fournette's work because they're wanting him to last the whole season. But man, he had a really great year. A really great year. He had a really great game. I was reading something somebody typed and said year. Yeah, Brady's O line is pretty bad. Yep. I've liked everything that I've seen from Rashad White so far. I'll tell you that. Brees Hall is starting to stand up too, man. That's one guy I wish I could have got my hands on just a little bit more because I really feel like Brees is going to have a huge second half of the season. And I'm already kicking myself in the ass that I don't have him on quite as many teams as I would have liked. Um, Now their offense in general just sucks. I wish maybe that continues to get better. Wilson's back. We'll see if those guys can kind of grow together. They got plenty of weapons now, man. Garrett Wilson, say what you want about Corey Davis, but he's still a stud in my opinion. Elijah Moore, you got Barrios. Now you got Brees Hall with Michael Carter, a two-way punch. If their O line can just get a little bit better, get a little more protection, they get keep Zach Wilson upright, and that offense could start clipping. Really start clicking it up, and we'll see. I mean, the Jets could have a lot of second half winners, fantasy production wise on their team, or it could just fall apart and all go to shit, too. So there's that, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean Corey Davis looked pretty good the other day. Devontae Smith's kind of like in that category. Although I'll say I would still rather have Amari, obviously, but he and Amari are kind of that same situation. Like, it's so damn frustrating. He puts up a 15-point and a 31-point week, and then he puts up a damn dud. It's so frustrating having guys like, because they absolutely kill you on your fantasy football, and like sometimes you need just that player to just get you like a 15, or a 15 or a 17 or something to get you the win that week, and they don't, and it just kills you, man. It kills you because, like I said, I mean we're 25% through the regular season, like it absolutely kicks your ass when you lose those close matchups like that. By the way, this was my best fantasy football week thus far this season. I had a lot of players do very well this week. I was about 80. I was 80% plus winner on my TFCs. So I was very, very, very happy with that. I won both of my RTFFC leagues as well. So this was a very productive week for Gatsby. It was really nice to see a lot of my players come to life. It's been really nice to see Dobbs get going as well. He's been huge for some of my teams. J.K. Dobbins, let's shout it out, baby. Good for J.K., man. Poor kid. The way all that crap happened last year. Those numbers are a little bit flawed, but we'll see. He's got a lot of favorable matchups coming up, man. And we'll see. Oh yes, Hawkinson absolutely crushed it, baby. Yes, he did. Shout out to all the Hawkinson owners. I've got him on a few teams, but man, Cole Kmet, man, what a freaking bust that guy's been. Good grief. I have no idea why the hell people were drafting Irv Smith. Like, I still don't get it. Fryermuth's starting to come to life, too. Look for Fryermuth with Pickett coming back. I think Fryermuth's going to end up being a steal at the end of the season, too. Dallas Goddard's been pretty consistent. He's going to have some big games in there, too, but he's been above 12 points pretty much the last 3 weeks. Not too bad. Again, Schultz, I need Schultz to get going. He's been atrocious. Let's see. Christian Kirk salvaged his day. Boy, he was having a really rough game. And then thank goodness, I think he ended up with, let me look real quick, like 8.8.5. Yeah, 8.3 points. But he still got non-targets, only 2 receptions though. So they were on Kirk. They were definitely scheming Kirk's ass for that game. Okay, here's one we need to talk about, fellas. I've got a ton of this guy too. I've been saving him on my bench. So it looks like Cordarrelle Patterson's going to be out for at least 4 weeks. Tyler Algier time, right? Let's see what this kid can do. He looked pretty damn impressive. Um, he had 10 rushing attempts, 84 yards, had a 20-yard reception. Scored 11 points. So we'll see. He's going up against some pretty tough competition the next 2 weeks against the Bucks and then the Niners. But then he gets Cincinnati, Carolina, the Chargers, and Carolina again with Chicago. So favorable matchups after that. These next 2 weeks can kind of be tough to start them, but I don't know, man. We'll see. It's going to be hard to tell the next 2 games with that. Their O line should get dominated by the Niners and the Bucks, though. So that's going to be pretty tough sledding. But we'll see. We'll see if he can, take on some more production, pushing through the rest of the season. Let's see here. Kenneth Gainwell has been just absolutely terrible too. Miles Sanders is another guy that deserves a golf clap, fellas. Let's give a golf clap to Mr. Miles Sanders. 27 rushing attempts, 134 yards, 2 tutties, 2 receptions, 22 yards. I mean, he's really only had one dud this season through 4 games, which he just didn't really score or do much in the receiving game. But he's definitely settled in there as the guy so far. He had almost 30 touches this week versus Jacksonville. I'm gonna tell you, they needed his ass because they were getting their butts handed to them early on in that game. So Miles Sanders with a lot of favorable matchups coming up too. Dallas, Arizona, Houston, Washington. I mean, he's got a lot of. Oh, and Miles Sanders is way off the bums list for sure. Should have never been on it. Yeah, he's been pretty consistent except week 3. Kenneth Walker, what's that going to pan out to be, guys? Are we still hoping for a second half from Walker? Or is Penny going to hold on to that job and stay healthy the rest of the season? I know I'm sure hating the DJ Moore stuff, critic. I was pretty high on DJ Moore myself, man. Has anyone seen? Does it look like Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to play this week? Man, freaking Reynolds turned in the game, didn't he? Good grief. 7 receptions, 81 yards, and a touchdown. He's crushed it the last 3 weeks. I was actually able to land him on a few, thank goodness. Thanks, Axe. Good to see you, buddy. We're on every Tuesday, Axe. I usually start around 8:30 or 9 p.m. Central Time. Axe, if you didn't already, make sure to subscribe, and you'll be alert. It'll alert you whenever I go live as well. How does a player being drafted as a number 3 running back and perform as a number 2 running back get on the list? Get on the list. I don't. Are you talking about Miles Sanders? Oh, I think AC was kidding if that's what you're talking about. Well, let's see. I'll tell you what, Jameson Williams is going to be activated at some point here coming up. It's going to be interesting to see how they use him, man. That speed he has, my gosh. Oh yeah, of course. Well, I think he was just kidding, Malins. To be honest with you, he and I are kind of joking around about that bums list thing. All right, guys. As far as waiver wire pickups, I really don't know what to tell you. Sanders hasn't had. He's had a lot of good weeks for where he was being drafted at. He's really only had one bad game. I mean, he had 19 points, 12 points, and 30 points. That's pretty damn good. Yeah, why do you Akers? Nobody's there's. It's going to be tough sledding playing the 49ers defense. I'm just telling you. Y'all say Boone's number 2 in Denver, man. I don't know. I'm not sure on that one. I'm not sure at all. Yes, but as far as waiver wire stuff, here, let's take a look at a few of the leaks here. I know there's not much on there. Of course, Boone's going to be on there. Latavius Murray, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be targeted too. Don't go blow your load on some of these guys. Might help if I do the damn thing right. But yeah, Mike Boone, Latavius Murray. Let's see here. Well who is critic if it's not Axe? Do you think it's Deej? Trying to look at some wide receivers now too. Yeah, I mean most of your waiver wise are just it's just not it doesn't look great. I'll tell you one guy to keep an eye on, man. He had some good production last season. Um he had 2 touchdowns this week is Jamal Agnew. If you go back and look at some of his production from last year, I actually had him on some of my teams before he got hurt at the end of last season. Um, he put up some decent numbers for me for a few weeks there. I remember, and then I can't remember his injury exactly what he had, but I remember he got knocked out for the rest of the year and he was done. But yeah, guys, not too much sledding as far as what's up, Smash? Malins, listen, I'm not here. I'm not here to waste any time on sitting here moderating the chat like this. You guys go back and forth like on any platform that I've ever seen. I have no idea why, but you guys do that. I don't care where it's at. It could be on. You guys could be on farmersonly.com and you'd still be giving each other hell in the chat. So I wish you guys would just get along because I like you both equally. I really do. I think both of you guys are really good fantasy football players. I really do. Let's see. What about Mo? What about Mo Alley Cox, guys? What about Mo Alley Cox? What's up, homers? Thanks, buddy. Great talk tonight. A lot of guys in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all coming out tonight. What about Mo Alley Cox? Man, 6 targets, 6 for 85 and 2 touchdowns. It's a trap. It's a trap. Man, what's up, Smirk? Smirk alert. I mean, you guys can just easily ignore each other, AC. I mean, it's so easy. Like, just don't even talk to each other. It's so easy, guys. It's kind of me feeding into that. It's kind of like me putting a $600 bid in on a waiver from Mo Alley Cox. AC, it's a trap. And then, dude, where's my car? Dude, hey, Will Disley is another one. He's had 2 touchdowns back to back weeks. I'm just saying, it's really not Smash. It's really not. It's really not hard to do. But like I said, I'm not picking sides. This is not a divorce court. I'm not picking who I want to go live with. I'm not picking sides or none of that shit. I like both of them. I really do. I think they're both really good fantasy football players. And I wish all the stupid shit and all the antics would just stop. That's why I can't even go on the RTS chat half the times on the Discord, because I mean, it's just nonsense. It used to not be that way. I'm telling you, RT used to be the community where I mean, there's always been some riffraff, but I mean, this shit the past 5 years is just on another level, and it shouldn't be that way. Because we used to all be like a huge community of people who support each other and this and that, but it's not one way or the highway either. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people don't put so much emotion into it, which you shouldn't. Because I mean, you shouldn't let that stuff bother you at all. But people should also, go into the chats, not just hammering people all the time either. Mike Latavius Boone Murray, baby. There it is. Critic, are you really Deej? Yeah, for sure, homers. That's all right though. We're all gonna get it better over there. We're gonna get that thing turned around. But man, so how did overall how did your teams do this week, you guys? Well, I heard Deej. I heard Deej got axed too. So are you Deej or are you Axe? Which one? Are you the real Axe Elf? He said, "No, I'm not Deej. Who said that?" You had a good week, Smash. Nice. I said earlier, this was my best week of the season. I've had other good weeks as well, but this one by far was the best. Axe Elf is Axe Elf. Homers, you had a blah week. Homers, who were some of the issues? Who were some of your players that were a pain in your butt this week? Did I smash? I might need to put that on the screen. I'm totally kidding, Smash. I'm not gonna do that, but let me see. Did I beat? I played Smash. Oh yeah. Oh Smash, your team scored bad this week, didn't it, buddy? Man, your team's not bad either. I'm telling you, you just don't. He said J Rob sucked for me. Yeah, Pittman had tough sledding. Yeah, that's a league where I have zero running backs. Smash. I had to start Daryl Williams and Rashad White because David Montgomery's is out, Elijah Mitchell's out. Hopefully, I get Brian Robinson back soon. Tyrion Davis Price should be coming back pretty soon too. Yeah, but if I get some running back production on this team, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a tough team to beat. I've got Garrett Wilson. We'll see if he continues what he turns into. Hopefully, Schultz can get his head out of his ass too. Yeah, I won my other. Yeah, they did okay. Well, at least Rashad White did. But I got kind of lucky in the invitation. I'm not gonna lie. I played a team that only scored 74 points, which is insane because this team's decent too, man. I mean, he has Lamar Jackson, Melvin Gordon, Jonathan Taylor, Juju McLaurin, Gabriel Davis, Romeo Dobbs, Mark Andrews. I mean, his team just scored poorly. But I kept Allen Robinson on the bench, man. I played Olave instead. I mean, it made it a little easier that freaking Michael Thomas wasn't playing this week, but I'm still. Let me see, where am I at overall? I'm still fit. I'm close. I'm close to the top 10. I'm 15th in the invitational right now. Smash, where are you at? Smash, you're 21st, so you're not far behind me. Yeah, it's true. I have a pretty good team. I need some freaking yeah, they did all his guys. AC, you took a loss but still did decent. You're 3-1 anyways. Josh Palmer put up a freaking dud on you. I saw that. You got Davis Price on that one. Madison. Oh gosh, yes, Tua hurt me on a few too, homers. I forgot all about that one. Jonathan Taylor, yes, of course. Pittman, yeah. I don't think I own Bateman on any teams, but I definitely own Pittman and Deontay. They tore my ass up pretty good on a few too. Man, I mean, I would. It's definitely not time to have any. I mean, those guys are going to start producing. Deontay is going to start producing this week. Man, Deontay was so close to having a pretty big game too. That he was so close to having an amazing touchdown. It was crazy. And Pittman's going to be just fine. Bateman, I don't know, man. I don't know that Baltimore just. I can't ever draft anybody but Andrews from that team in the running backs or Lamar. I refuse to draft a wide receiver there. I just can't do it. I mean, Bateman's had a few good weeks. I had Hollywood Brown quite a few times last year. That's because he was like an eighth, ninth round pick. Yep, Pickens is on the rise for sure. We'll see if it can continue, man. I think Deontay's on the rise. That's going to be his safety blanket right there. Deontay and Najee. So I think Najee could step up a little bit too. But man, they're freaking Pittsburgh's O line sucks, man. They really got to invest some money in their O line this offseason. Yeah, Bateman scares the hell out of me too. It's just that it's so you can't gauge their offense, man. It's impossible. How long do we think Michael Thomas is going to be out for? I'm going to say about 3 to 4 weeks, man, because he didn't practice at all last week. Yeah, Lamar didn't put up very big points either, did he? Man, I tell you what, it's pretty far fetched, but I really hope Wandale Robinson gets back, and I hope he starts tearing it up. I really do. Oh man, I don't think Montgomery's coming back for probably not this week or next. Smash. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think Montgomery's going to play this week either. Deej was a solid player. Yeah, I like old Deej. It's not a bad name, Smirk. You probably put more effort into naming that team than you did that draft too, didn't you, Smirk? You jerk. Damn it, Smirk. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap up the show. Any other players you guys want to talk about? Any start sits that's giving you guys trouble? Anybody else want to talk any more foosball? We've been running about an hour 15 here. If not, then we'll cut it. We'll cut episode number 11, Overreaction Tuesday. Malins spells his name Malins. Boone. Preston said it's Boone, damn it. It's Boone. Thanks, Smash. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, Homers. Appreciate it. Thanks, Critic. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the love tonight, guys. Make sure that you guys are subscribed and like the video. What's up, Tommy Gunn? Thanks, brother. Appreciate it, guys. Good luck to all of you in week 5. Hey, I'm on Discord. Fellas, on RT Sports. If you guys need anything, hit me up on there. Feel free to at me on the Discord if you guys got any questions or need any help with anything. I know you guys are mostly well versed, but if not, just let me know. I'm always happy to give my opinion. Not always right, but definitely don't mind it. I appreciate it, everyone. All right, you guys have a great week. Make sure to get your waivers in by tomorrow night and set those lineups for Thursday. Also, don't forget Sunday there is another London game early, so make sure you have your Sunday lineups, or at least those players in or out of your lineups early that morning. I'm Ray Cowart, the Great Gatsby. This was Fantasy Cure, brought to you by Real Time Fantasy Sports Draft Hero. I'll see you all next week for another segment of Overreaction Tuesdays. All right, fellas, y'all have a great rest of your week. Peace, baby.
where they drippin', that shit bustin'. How you gon' fuck with me, you pop out of the sudden. Fuck 'em, I can't trust them, love me all of a sudden. Leave me alone, I'm fucking tired of this shit, just let me be. And I can love no bitch, but she know I'm a boss. For these bitches tryna act like I feel something, but they ain't shit nothing. Shit, if I like what you gon' already run it down, run it up. All you suckers faking love, I'm kinda done, had enough. Now they hear love, bro, name it about time, run it up. And I'm a fucking ticking time bomb, we gon' fuck it up. No shit, don't let them suckers know I'm ballin'. Me and my brothers moving past you, we you haulin'. Baby, take off my Mary Jean, I'm talking. Fuck until the morning, baby, know I'm dog. They be saying that's my brother, way loud, and now it's down, I ain't convinced. Know they riding on the dick, cause I'm popping like a bitch. Had nobody, I was dolly every day, I reminisce. I had to do something to get rich, this shit go quick, we hit a switch. Had to get to it, man, that makes a night of nothing. Know that pussy where they drippin', that shit bustin'. How you gon' fuck with me, you pop out of the sudden. Fuck 'em, I can't trust them, love me all of a sudden. Yeah. She hit my phone like, babe, I love you, wait a minute. Oh, there's a time for everything, and that's the truth. You love somebody, then you turn into a whore. That love, she kinda fake, fuck it all, now I'm lonely. Bitch, you let the kid out hanging broken hearted. Kinda crazy how the flow we done on party. And I done treated you no less hit than a queen. You ain't really fuck with me until I blow in. My hidden suckers hope y'all know I hear you. Sitting on West and doing shit, how I'm gon' feel you. Got his money with a new bitch to my left, to my right. Talking down, we come around and watch you flinch. They be saying that's my brother, way loud, and now it's down, I ain't convinced. Know they riding on the dick, cause I'm popping like a bitch. Ain't had nobody, I was dolly every day, I reminisce. I had to do something to get rich, this shit go quick, we hit a switch. Had to get to it, man, that makes a night of nothing. Know that pussy where they drippin', that shit bustin'.